Hey guys, it's Steve. So I've got a really cool product that I think a lot of you guys are gonna like, especially if you have a Weber kettle that you like to smoke different meats on. This is the Slow & Sear. What this guy is 5 pounds of 16 gauge 304 stainless steel. We're gonna be using it to put our charcoal over here. We've got a water basin here in the middle. That's going to provide an indirect environment for our kettle here. And what we're going to be doing today is smoking a USDA prime grade brisket. This is going to be awesome, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here's our prime grade brisket flat. So a lot of the comp guys you'll see them cooking like the Wagyu briskets. There's no way I'm ever gonna pay for one of those. Well, maybe one day, but I've never smoked a prime grade brisket before, and I found one of these at the store the other day. It was about 10 bucks a pound. So this is a 5.8 pound brisket. So it was right around, close to 60 bucks. So pretty expensive cut of meat. I've always wanted to do one though. We're going to a football party later on, so I figured I'd hook our friends up with a nice little brisket here. So all I ever do is I just take some cheap yellow mustard that's just gonna act as a binder for our rub that we're gonna use. All right, and then I'm gonna be using the Oak Ridge Barbecue Black Ops rub today. It's one of my favorite rubs for brisket. It's phenomenal. If you haven't tried it, definitely check it out. So we're just gonna get both sides nice and thickly covered. We want to produce a nice bark on this brisket. All right, that's about it. I got all 4 sides. You always want to make sure you kind of lift up the edges like that and make sure you get the edges as well. So this thing is all set and it's ready for the Slow & Sear. Okay, so here I am. This is my 22-inch Weber kettle, and so the Slow & Sear just tucks up just like that, nice and flush against the side. You can see it comes right underneath the little clips here for the grate. And so you've got your charcoal basket essentially over here. This is gonna hold a ton of charcoal. And then right here is our water reservoir that's gonna hold about a quart of water. And so all you really need to do to get this thing started is that we're gonna take one of our little lighter cubes here and put it way over here on this corner. And just go ahead and get that lit just like that. And then we're just gonna take a small pile of briquettes and just kind of get those in there just like that. Throw another one in there. So all I've got is just about 5 of them right there. And so we're gonna let that get going. And then once those ash over, we're gonna go ahead and fill this entire basket up with unlit briquettes with some smoke wood and some water. Here's another shot here. I didn't realize that you couldn't see exactly what I was doing there. So you can just see how I kind of tucked that small little pile of briquettes right up there in the corner. And again, those are just gonna kind of sit there and get ashed over, and then we'll go ahead and fill the rest of the basket up with unlit ones. All right guys, so our briquettes over here are getting nice and ashed over. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add our charcoal here. All right, so that's what I'm gonna go with for now. You can see you can definitely have more room to get more in here if you want. You can obviously add more if you need to during the cook. And then what I'm gonna do is just add some smoke wood chunks here. Just like this. All right, and now we're going to fill the water right here on this side. Again, this is 1 quart. There we go, that looks perfect. And we're gonna take our rack right here, just set that on top. I like the Weber racks here since they open on one side you've got plenty of room here in case of smoke wood, or if you really have your charcoal stacked high here, you've got some room here. And also to add some more either smoke wood or briquettes if you need to. And so what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna take a pit probe so I can be monitoring my temps here on this brisket. Just like this. Actually, probably put this guy over here, just like that. Now we're gonna go ahead and get this gorgeous brisket on. We're gonna put it way over here on this side. And then I'm gonna take a meat probe, just get it right here in the middle. This gorgeous looking brisket. This looks awesome. Okay, so kind of a quick little recap for you. Again, all you're doing is you're just getting some briquettes ashed over on one tiny corner, then kind of building out your unlit pile with your smoke wood, adding your water. That's all acting as a heat barrier between your coals and your meat here. We've got our meat over here on this side, and then lastly, we're gonna go ahead and put our lid on. Just like this. You want the top damper over your meat, so it's sucking that hot air over and helping to cook your meat there. And when you first put the lid on, you want to go ahead and have your bottom vent about halfway open or so, and your top vent wide open. And then all you're doing is once your temp starts creeping up, I'm going to be watching it on my iGrill too here, monitoring the pit temp, but also looking at the built-in thermometer here on the top of the kettle lid. But we're shooting for about 225, and we're just going to basically work with our dampers and get it dialed in, and we'll pick back up in a little bit and take a look. One of the things I wanted to point out, guys, is that if you follow the instructions to cook with your top damper on the opposite side of the slow and sear, so it's going to be directly above your meat, then you know, if you've got the kettle with the built-in dome thermometer, it's going to be reading a lot higher than what we're cooking at over on the indirect side. So this is, you know, showing that above the slow and sear we're kind of around like 325 or so. But if I show you my little iGrill 2 app here, it's that bottom number, we're actually cooking right around 250. So just want to point that out, that it's still a nice low and slow indirect environment, and to not freak out if you see your built-in thermometer reading a higher temp. Okay guys, we're at the 5-hour mark. My iGrill 2 is reading right at 160 on the internal temp. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and foil it. So here's our brisket. It's looking awesome, and then still have a decent amount of charcoal going here, so I'm not going to add any. I'm going to see if this can actually go ahead and last the remainder of the cook. And yes, let's go ahead and get this guy foiled. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and sit that right in the middle of our foil, just like that. And I'm going to add just a little bit of beef broth. First thing I'm going to do is just kind of tuck up all 4 sides of this top sheet. Just kind of like this. And then I'm just going to add, not too much, just a little bit. This is just going to allow this to braise and get more tender. It's going to speed up our cooking process. I don't like to cook briskets throughout the stall because it dries them out a lot of the time. So we're just going to wrap all this up and get it back on the kettle. All right, here we go. We've still got our probe in there, so we'll continue to monitor, and I'm going to be pulling this guy between 195 and 200. All right guys, our brisket just hit 200 degrees. So I'm just going to get it in this cooler right here, and what I do is this is just a dry cooler, and then I'm going to go ahead and put a towel over it, just like that. Get this shut. We're going to let it rest for an hour, then it's gonna be time to slice into this thing and take a look. All right guys, here we go. We let the brisket set for about an hour and rest. And so the main thing with brisket is you wanna look at kind of which way the grain is going and always slice against the grain. So we're just gonna go ahead and slice straight into this guy. Oh my gosh. Let me slice a little piece off here. Look at that right there. Oh my gosh, that looks so, so good. Nice little smoke ring, so tender. Ooh, that's hot. Go ahead and slice off a little piece here. Man, that is just like butter. Check that out, nice little bark, epic looking smoke ring. Let me go ahead and give this a little try. Wow, that is amazing. That just prime grade brisket with the Black Ops rub. So tender and juicy. Check that out right there. So much just juice in that. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. So really stoked on the slow and sear. Great performance on the Weber kettle there. So I'm gonna have a link in the description. Definitely go check it out. Let me know if you have any questions, if you have one, or if you purchase one and do a couple cooks. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. And appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you again soon.